Hello. There we go. Alrighty. Oh. I am not too bad. Can you say something again? Right. I was just looking to see if Discord was being recorded or not. For some reason, none of my links want to work right now. I've had to go through and like all the links were correct to all the media, but for some reason I had to just do them again.
Hmm.
Say something again? Hmm. Any damage? You still there?
I'm here.
Aha!
Got it? Got the link working?
Yep. Okay. Now back to it. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a while. I almost don't remember how to do it.
Right.
think I've got it all worked out now. Yeah, I had to pop the 3HC off so I could run a couple wires behind it.
Oh yeah. So what you're doing now? You're actually I don't have your YouTube up. Hold on.
Uh,
So what you're
Yeah, that's what I'm streaming. Somebody wanted, or was wondering about streaming earlier today, so I was like, what the hell? I'll do a stream. Uh-oh, I swore. Bad art. Well, it's not like it's meant for kids anyway.
Yeah.
I've heard people say much worse on YouTube.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't even notice. I don't even know what it was you said. I didn't even notice. But
To go back
man,
to middle school, I said HE double hockey stick.
right, gotcha.
Oh no, we're
Yeah,
gonna be demonetized.
yeah. As if you were making any money off of these, right?
You have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you can get monetization, and I am
Yeah,
at a whopping like 80.
yeah. No, yeah. The new rules that came out were really, really tough.
Well, I mean, even if I was monetized, I have like at any given time I only have a couple viewers, so it's not like
Right.
there's any real opportunity there. I never really streamed like with the idea that I was going to suddenly become a YouTube millionaire or anything. Huh. So what are you working on tonight?
Well, I'm just printing a couple things. I did a little 3D design class with my kids' school, and one of the kids, we just used Tinkercad, and I told them if they designed something, they had to write like kind of little reports and come up with like their priorities for their design and little stuff like that, just to kind of get them thinking. And one of the kids did a whole bunch of chess pieces. So um, they did a presentation today with all of the other kids in the school, and several of the chess pieces were broken afterwards. So like
Oh,
little crowns on the queen got snapped off by little kids. Anyway, so I told them I'd print them again. So I'm printing those. Learning Fusion 360 so I can make the duct for the Titan Aqua, and then that's really it.
yeah, I've got this is only like a dry fit. I haven't actually done any like engineering here, but this is going to be something kind of like what the new tool will look like, although I'll probably have the orbiter a little bit lower than it is right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I really like that duct. I'm
well,
really a fan.
well, with the orbiter, this orientation, I'll be able to use that duct. I am going to make some modifications to it, but how the heck did you print this thing? Because I don't see
This,
how you could orient it to print it.
I'm telling you, man, it printed just fine, straight up and down
Like
on
that?
just those little that bottom right there, just those vents. It printed just fine. I did a skirt, just a
It doesn't look
three ring
noticeable.
skirt that was at 0, and that was it. Those little flat pieces right there.
I don't see how that's possible. Because
It print
you would have like, you wouldn't have anything supporting right here. Hmm.
supporting where?
Um, yeah, there's a
It,
little bit of a lag.
right there.
Yeah, yeah. In the YouTube stream, they always lag it behind like
Gotcha.
15, 20 seconds or so, like from real time. The one downside to using YouTube streaming versus Discord streaming.
Gotcha.
But not that anybody would probably come back and watch these, but you know,
Right.
I do actually get a fair amount of hits on them, but I think it's people like going, "Oh, what's this? Oh, never mind."
Right. Right.
I still get a few hundred hits, like not a day, but like a month or something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked at my analytics in a while. I kind of once I got too busy for it, I just kind of forgot about it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating in myself whether I should permanently run the wires for the CPAP blower or not, because I'm not entirely sure that the CPAP blower is going to live there forever. So
Right.
I'm not entirely sure I want to waste the effort.
Well, to be honest, that's one of the reasons I didn't cut the ends off of mine. I figure I'll just keep the full length and then figure out exactly where I'm gonna mount it, how I'm gonna mount it, and
Yeah, I'm confident with the stepper motor. That's what I'm doing right now. Um, I don't anticipate ever having to move that, I hope. But
right.
pretty happy with where it's at on my machine.
Yeah, I need to. I'm about happy enough with all the macros. You know what? So far I've had at least 3 prints fail because I wasn't paying attention, and the CPAP blower from some setting that I missed in the slicer uh, turned up to 70%, and I got a heater fault. It's just so powerful. So I figured there. I didn't realize, but I looked it up. There is an M106 X parameter, which is the max speed. So I firmware limited the CPAP to 60%. So
Oh, yeah, can you show me or send that to me in Discord? DM?
absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be. I actually used to have heater faults back in the beginning because of the like it was like if you ran the fan while it was parked, it would cool down the nozzle too much, like when
Right.
parking, and then like I don't know, there was this whole thing with parking and getting the tool, and it was driving me nuts back in the day. So yeah, I feel your pain. I wish you could run like it'd be smart enough to know that if the fan turned on higher, that it would have to kick the heater up higher.
Right.
or something.
Right. Like yeah, tied to the PID. Like if you had like a sliding scale for PID values determined by, you know, but it's interesting though because that would be hard since when I can't run my fan at like 50% when I'm on my first 4 or 5 layers. But once I'm over layer 6 and there's enough room for that air to go away, I can run it. But I can't run it over. I can't run it over 60. So it's just it would be hard because it'd have to include a whole bunch of other stuff. Like if it was docked and the fan was going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh.
Whew. Yeah, I'm at a place where everything else that I want to do requires that I know Fusion 360 better than I do.
Um, what is it that you're having a problem with?
Oh, well, I mean, nothing really. I mean, I'm just trying to follow the steps that Jack Antibus did for that CPAP and just extending it out and changing the orientation so that it 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 matches the Titan Aqua. Um, but then I want to build an enclosure for the CPAP blower that's ported and like what's it called, a baffle for it so that it's quieter. Um, I have the extrusions uh, to do like kind of a top enclosure like Haytham has. Um, but I haven't started like kind of designing and figure out how I'm gonna connect them all and where I'm gonna hinge it and put the doors, stuff like that. And I want to model it first so that I have a
Yeah,
have a design.
yeah. I only have the step file for that.
I don't know if he's ever shared it. I've seen pictures of it, but
Well, it's
hey,
I
Brian, how you
put
doing?
them out at one point. Hello.
how's it going?
It's going all right. I'm testing an Ender 5. That arrived today. It was interesting.
Ouch.
So pretty much loose in the box. But I'm currently extruding. Um, it has the 4.2.2 board in it. I'm not familiar with that one. It's a Creality 32-bit board. I haven't really done much in the way of wire management yet, but mostly I'm just trying to get it assembled and at least, you know, sort of, you know, functioning. I'm about ready to, once I make sure that the extruder, I will um, spend some, I will see if I can get it to get the bed leveled, the frame, and rent a test piece. Bench is really good height to work on standing. Yeah, it's a good height. I mean, granted, I have no idea how old.
Missed where you said it came from. Where'd it come from?
Basically, flipping these. So yeah, it preheat the bed. It's gonna go to 45. Okay, let's see if the bed runs up. Yeah, so my next step at this point, Z-axis, uh, really super slow, and I'll print from the card. Is they updated the firmware on this thing. Instead of 00 being in the left, 00 is in the back right corner, backwards. So I'm doing 7 of these to come off the power supply before it goes into the, you know, and it's just bad. Go through and all the electrical for the bed. I paid 7, but I'll have 2 of them to deliver by this weekend, and it should be here Friday. Pretty simple upgrades that a couple. So I'm just driving the screws in until the 24 came through. But yeah, I've got a spool of the silicone for doing wiring, separate wiring.
Oh, right.
It's not exactly like what they use because they've got a dot pattern printed on it instead of just the first number 1 wiring in the bundle.
Right.
So that's a thing. So how's were you able to figure out the proper flow settings for the CPAP blower?
I got really decent results. I'm very, very happy. I need to, I just changed over to a whole bunch of PLA because I was printing. I like printing the parts that are going to be on the Jubilee and Pet G, you know. So now
Yeah.
I'm just moving everything over to PLA and, tweaking all of the, just tweaking the filament, making sure my retractions and everything are good. Because I haven't even done that yet. But I mean, I'm very happy. Although, like I mentioned, that benchy, I mean, it's not that impressive. It was an hour and 20 minutes, but overall the cooling, was good. It looked great.
How loud is the fan when you're running it at the low speeds?
Not loud at all. I can hear the stepper over it. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, that's a good sign. And
you know what I mean? And like right now it's at 40, which is basically like my max airflow. I bump it up to 50% for like bridging, and I mean, like if I put my hand near the print, on the plate, I can feel the air pushing away from the print, So
All right then.
I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, I didn't really seem like the fan got obnoxious until it hit till at least like 70. Then it started to get a little bit louder, but I mean anything under 70, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I suppose you could relocate the fan to to the cabinet below the printer,
Mhm. Yep.
and
That's exactly where I'm building the baffle for it. That's what I want to do. Is I want to design just connect the actual intake of the blower with like TPU to a baffle intake box like you were describing, a subwoofer baffle, and just do it.
oh, okay. I mean, you could do that. Yeah, I was just thinking putting just putting the blower down, and a little bit away from the printer, but that blower is going to create a lot of airflow, even through longer hoses.
There
Nope.
does the new wiring blend in well enough?
Looks good, man. Holy cow! I don't.
Wait. Did you?
I can't even send you a picture of mine. It'd be embarrassing.
Oh wait, did you hide all your wiring again?
Yeah.
I just kept it in the same theme as always.
Dang.
I don't have the CPAP wired up yet. It's just the stepper motor.
Bill. Yeah, that thing. I opened the box and looked at it and went, "Well, there wasn't even any." I mean, the packing material that was inside was a bubble wrap bag laid on the top, which didn't even fill the void in the box. So I was kind of afraid that this thing. I mean, there's some cosmetic damage on the extrusions, like they've been nicked, but I'll do a quick wipe down on it just to see if there's anything. And there's some dings on the edges of the extruder, but nothing on the travel parts that I can tell. I just had to tighten up the. Okay, so if anybody ever follows any of the Facebook, sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. Um, any of the Facebook 3D printing groups, everybody's like, you'll see 2 or 3 of these a day. It's like, what does this mean? And the whole carriage is wobbly. And the answer is like, check your eccentric nuts. And the question comes back is, what's an eccentric nut? Okay, then you link in the Edge of Text video series that he did based on Luke Hatfield's manual. So, it's good stuff. Oh wow. Um, so yeah, it seems to be printing just fine. Extruding is the extruder is extruding. Laying down filament. Looks pretty smooth on each of the layers. You have no idea how many of these lucky cats I've got. I actually have one stuck to the dashboard of my car.
I have innumerable benchies. I understand.
And I have a steampunk jiggly print-in-place octopus hanging from my rearview mirror.
That's one of my son's favorite new word is octopus. No idea why. Like all of a sudden, like last week, he's like octopus, and it just cracks me up.
New words are good.
Yeah, but of like just a 2-year-old, saying octopus. I don't know why. It just cracks me up.
2-year-olds are fun, man.
But it's not just octopus though. He's like or he's like octopus. And he always does it the exact same way. It's just good times.
It's like when your 10-year-old says, I don't want to go to school. It's like, well, you have to go to school. But what happens if I don't go to school? Well, you have to go to school. It's the law. But what if I don't go to school? Well, I'll go to jail. And they pause and they say, well, I'll come visit you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the right answer.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, kid.
Because, kids, they say the darndest things. Excuse me. Krispy Kreme offers customers inoculated customers a free ride on the icing conveyor.
Yeah, I saw. Is that like a Babylon Bee or some
That's an onion
article? Yeah.
But it's like Krispy Kreme's like bring in your shot card, you'll get a free donut. And I'm like, okay.
I did see that.
And then you got people like they're next thing they give it to you free, and then the next thing they won't let you in without one. It's like, you're just stupid. Please, just don't go away, Mad. Just go away. Oh, I need to bounce over to the friendly local game store and pick up my games. I picked up the Tea Dragon Society card game and Railroad Inc.
Do you do mostly cards, or do you do the miniatures as well, like Warhammer and stuff?
Oh, I do. I don't play anything. I just
Okay.
I just have a lot of games. I mean, I'm looking at a stack of games over there with Zero and 2 versions of Zero and yeah, there goes my iPad. I think I see 6 Red Dragon Inns, 6 different editions or expansions for Red Dragon Inn, Triplanetary, Dungeon Fighter, The King is Dead, the Fantasy Trip. Let's see. I see a bunch of ogre stuff. I probably have something like 600 ogre miniatures.
Yeah, my son's getting into Warhammer, and well, he's been into Warhammer for about a year now, but he's been painting miniatures, and we print and paint. Well, I help with the printing, and he does the painting. I cannot paint, but he's getting really good. So we just got him an airbrush, and so he started airbrushing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's super stoked. He's done some good work.
Yeah, airbrushing is. I'm an airbrush instructor repair guy.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm a Grex representative.
Just so you know, Hobbit has literally done every job that's ever existed.
No, I mean
it is like a Renaissance man.
It gets me free airbrushes, all right?
Seriously, like almost every single time I talk to him, something comes up and he's like, I've did that job like in such and such a time and such and such a place with such and such people. It's like his resume has got to fill up about a novel.
Yeah.
I have a hard time keeping it down to 3 pages.
That's funny.
That's only because you don't list the minor jobs.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of stuff, right? Oh, hello. Hi, Bagheera. Okay, yeah, I
He,
have presented a lap. Forgive me.
he's not
You're
a
not in
jack.
it.
He's not a jack of all trades. He's a jack of every trade that ever existed.
No. Okay, so I was in the Navy, all right? I was in the submarine force. I was enlisted mechanic, nuclear, but I was the water chemistry and radiation protection guy. Um, but I managed to I got a C school because they had to give me a C school when I reenlisted. And the only ones available was the Ox Package school, right? Well, Ox Package for a nuke gets you AC&R, air conditioning, refrigeration. It gets you welding, and that's MIG, TIG, oxyacetylene, right?
Yeah.
And stick. So, there's 4 different welding skills right there. Plus, your AC&R stuff, and when you come out of it, you've got a journeyman's card. Or you've got the journeyman's card that you fill up over the next 2 years, just doing your collateral duty. And you come out of it with a universal air conditioning commercial universal card, right? Which I still do. So I can buy and sell refrigerant.
Cool.
I can also get fined $50,000 per release because I have the card. So yeah, it's like you've been trained. Now you know better.
Right.
Dang it. And then the other thing they give you is machines and operators. So, so with ACR, you're doing both vapor compression, chill water systems, and absorption cycle air conditioning. Oh wait, yeah, and the 4th item in it is the distillation unit. So stills and distillers. So you're working on freshwater production on the boat as well as that. So, and then the machine tool package is the lathe, the milling machine, and making spec parts, stock materials from a blueprint. So that was a 13-week school, and to stay qualified, you had to make a part every quarter, and you had to do a weld every quarter. So I was able to keep my hands in that stuff. Hey, look, I'm a maker, and but after I got out of the Navy, I went to work for NASA Langley, and I was doing IT stuff, right? Well, okay, so right after the Navy, I got out of the Navy, I was working for AMSEC LLC.
Yeah, I think you're only proving my point right now.
Oh. I was job hopping for about 5 years after I got out of the Navy, because it just the market sucked, right? And I didn't have a degree. I still don't have a degree. And if you don't have a degree, people are like, entry level position needs 5 years experience and a bachelor's or master's in this. It's like, really?
What
And I
boat?
had a family to take care of, so I took whatever I could get. Where are you going? There you go. So yeah, I worked at NASA Langley, and I was an enhanced SA because so as a system administrator, but the enhanced role was you're working for an SES, right? You're working for project directors and senior executives, CS-15s. So I wasn't one of the grunt techs working out of the bullpen. I had my customers and the seats that I took care of, but I was on call for 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for 30-minute response. So you're picking up a lot of other stuff, which was fun because I was at NASA Langley, right? I was working out of the. Did you ever see Hidden Figures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that hangar that they were taking pictures in front of with John Glenn and whatnot?
Sure.
I'm not
On the
sure
car?
what scene, but yeah.
Yeah, that's building 1244. That's the one I worked out of.
That's cool.
Um, and that was a working aircraft hangar. We had a 757 inside of it doing, the internet and the sky stuff that was developed on that aircraft in the 90s.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Plus, there were some T-38 trainers, a bunch of King Air B-210s. There was a couple of Hueys in there. So it was a lot of experimental, general aviation and experimental aircraft, or a test aircraft for testing stuff. Like we had the first glass cockpit in a general aviation aircraft because it was developed there. And tucked back in the corner was a crew rescue reentry vehicle mock-up. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that it took me forever to find one, but that was one of the ones he painted.
Mind flayers.
And that was a year ago. So I mean, like he's gotten a lot better. He's got his I forget even what faction Warhammer he's. Anyway, I like to encourage his making. You know, he's doing
absolutely
great.
Yeah. Do you have a resin printer?
We do.
Okay.
Just one of the Elegumars, one of the first ones. So.
Nice.
And so we've printed some things here. Yeah, I got another one that should be able to.
It's azalea season here. The pollen is killing me, but the colors are amazing. It's like, yes, my azaleas are blooming. Whoops. Yay.
Yeah, there's another one.
That's not a Warhammer figure.
Hey.
But it's fairly common resin print, right? So.
Oh, that came out really nice.
Yeah, I know. He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's really gonna step up his game with the airbrush.
Nice. Yeah, and you can do a lot with the airbrush.
Hey guys.
Heyo.
Hey. Oh man. So I ordered some Ziltech filament. It's going to be arriving tomorrow. Got a couple of spools of the Nico red and a couple of spools of the Nico black.
Is there something special about it being Nico? I've never looked at that. So like, is it just like TLA or what is it?
Yeah, it's like a matching color type thing.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the red's supposed to match Iron Man.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
I find it. Yeah. It's like, we found shrimp tails in my cinnamon toast crust. It's like, you know what? I don't think they're shrimp tail. It's unlikely that shrimp tails are going to be in a cereal box by cross contamination.
Right.
Either somebody sabotaged it or somebody is looking for their 15 minutes of fame. Because that's never happened, right?
Right.
Hey, a friend of mine is I don't know. Is Sophie born yet? Hold on. It was 5 hours ago. Longtime friends are expecting their first child. She is currently late, but sort of late. We are waiting. The epidural has been done and the induction is being done, so we're just waiting for the birth.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, little girl. And my friend is a tiny person. I mean, I say tiny. She's like 4'9", 4'11", because feet end at 12 instead of 10.
There's a guy at work. He's got to be. He's definitely a few inches shorter than me. He's got to be, I don't know, 5'6" or so. And I seen a picture of him standing next to his wife. Um, she stands at least a good head shorter than him, and she just gave birth to a 9-pound baby.
Oh,
wow.
I was like, are you going? Just wow. It's a very tiny lady for such a large baby.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, that's so funny. Her, take me somewhere expensive. Me, parked in front of the magic counter at your local game store.
Can't say I particularly enjoy doing wiring, but I do enjoy the results after I'm done.
right.
Yeah. I give my kids 50 cents every time they see an unmasked person and loudly say, "Why isn't that person wearing a mask, Mom?" Highly recommended. Use your children to publicly shame idiots. Sorry. I've been struggling recently with anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers. If you think you're having a bad day, spare a thought for the helmsman who somehow managed to stick his giant ass ship sideways in the Suez Canal and blocking it into literal gridlock, currently costing every seafaring nation of Earth millions of dollars an hour. They're like stuck in the Suez Canal.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think he's
Oh, I
been
just
fired
got
or
back.
he will be fired. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the question is whether it was the ship's helmsman or was a pilot, because the canals are you're supposed to have a pilot going through the canal.
Well, there's supposed to be like a tugboat or something that pulls you through.
Well, you've got a couple of tugs, but yeah, there's supposed to be a pilot on board controlling that. And if they did it on their own, now if they lost control, if they had a rudder failure or something of that nature, the tug should have still kept it from drifting into that position. But, who's to say? Wait, table nachos? Ooh, table nachos. So there is a nacho discussion. Should nacho plates be wider and shallower? Yes or no? No answer. Okay.
Undecided.
I think I've never had a problem with my plate of nachos, so I don't know. Same size as it is? Or are we saying relative to something?
Instead of a tall, skinny pile of nachos, a wide, flat pile of nachos.
Hmm.
I like the wide flat because more nachos are covered by nacho toppings.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I wasn't fully processing your query.
Mm. Gara, what are you doing back there? Oh, there's a good question. Does the jelly in a donut count as a serving of fruit?
It might, but it doesn't mean it's healthy.
That's true. That's true. Ooh, there's a good one for parents. Parenting isn't really a test. It's more of an unrelenting series of pop quizzes that you had no clue were coming and are in no way prepared for. Yes, Bagheera, what can I do for you, sir?
He has a request.
Hey, well, his request is you have a lap and I'm not in it. So he is doing kitty biscuits on my leg and deciding that to mark the iPad as his.
I hope he's not marking it the same way my dog does.
No, no, cats do when the cats do the cheek
Face
mark,
rub.
the cheek rub. I don't know. If I had one donut every day, I think I'd be fine. Seriously, dude, that is not a lap. That is like right under my chin. All right, here you go. Yeah, yeah. Either he is not aware of the length of his tail, or he is quite aware and just doesn't care.
Probably doesn't care.
No, he's a cat. So anybody been following E3D's um, anatomy of a hot end post?
No, you got a link?
It's on the E3D site. It's in the blog, under their blog news, anatomy of a hot end. They've been posting stuff every day or so. Let me see if I can post something in here. Yes. Oh, okay. There you go. And yes, yes, you are. Oh,
Is there a too long didn't read version that you're going to tell us?
no, not really. I just was wondering if anybody's been reading it.
Gotcha. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, they started posting it beginning of the week. Like, here's the anatomy of the hot end, and then they break down all the different parts and do a page on each of them.
I'll have to read that. I don't know why, but whenever I open up the container for my Molex connectors, I always find it enjoyable, the smell.
Okay.
I don't know, there's just something about the way these connectors smell that are just like, that feels
Yeah,
good.
it's outgassing the carcinogens.
A new plastic smell.
Yeah. This candle smells like Fireball. Us non-alcoholics like to call it cinnamon, Becky.
Oh,
Mm.
I've lost my train of thought. Whoa. So, anybody have any interesting summer projects they're going to work on?
Gonna make a drawing bot with my daughter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Are you going to kind of base it off of the
Uh,
predecessor to the Jubilee or something else?
well, it is Core XY, but it's really Maker's Mashup. They posted like a little. He did a laser engraver, based off the X301, and I guess they're calling it the L301. But one of the things he mentioned was, uh, eventually doing a pen head on it, and so although I got it and I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'll get a laser module. I think I'm not even gonna worry about the laser module at the moment, just so that I have something to do with my my 10-year-old. She's interested, and so I've got all the parts really, and so we have to design the the pen head, the tool head. Um, Recently, he sent me a couple of designs, a couple of things, so that was kind of cool. Um, and that's one of the things I was saying earlier, that I just need to get better at Fusion. Like, I've been staring at these Fusion files. I'm long enough to where suddenly I'm feeling like maybe I've been looking at the Rosetta Stone, because some things are making sense and I'm not sure why.
Perfectly reasonable. Hey,
Yeah,
Luke.
Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Howdy.
Just joining
Luke's
for a little bit. It's all good.
osmosis is real, Rosa.
Yeah, it's a real thing, right? Learning by osmosis, it's a real thing.
Well, if you surround yourself with people smarter than you, you eventually learn with osmosis. That's a
I,
real thing.
I just kept my chemistry book under my pillow.
That's kind of how I learned Super Smash Brothers. My friends were just so much better than me. It forced me to actually learn how to play it.
So, learning by osmosis. Here's something I did when I was in my inorganic chemistry course. When you're trying to memorize the periodic table and all the stuff that goes along with it, not only did I have flashcards, but I did a recording of the entire periodic table along with the valence states and things like that. The molar values and valence states and all that. And it took about 6 hours, and I would just play it with a pillow speaker every night as I was sleeping.
Hmm.
Does that work?
I mean, between all the other stuff I was doing, yeah, it seemed to help. Um, but then again, doing organic chemistry was a bitch.
I've been
but
living my life wrong all these years.
what's that?
But I've been living my life wrong all of these years.
I mean, that's one way. It was something I did because I was trying to I was trying to get through the memorizing all that extra stuff, right?
So if I were to play like Japanese language while I was sleeping, do you think it would teach me Japanese?
Well, I certainly know that watching a lot of subtitled anime helps you recognize cadence and phraseology. So when you
Suppose
do the Rezone or the Duolingo,
I
you
suppose
got
that's true, but I still don't know a lick of Japanese. A few words here and there, but and I watched a lot of anime once upon a time.
you.
But you're right, though. I do recognize the sounds and words and cadence and stuff like that.
And you probably get more out of it than the Duolingo or the
You'll catch a lot more tones than you would otherwise catch.
Yeah, because when you're trying to learn it, Japanese is hard. I mean, it's hard for Japanese people.
I think Cantonese has got to be one of the most difficult.
Oh, geez.
And Mandarin.
One of the things that throw me every time I've tried to learn Japanese is like if I were to try to go and learn Tagalog or Turkish, you know, the all the words are written in basically like the English alphabet, maybe a few extra characters. You go to learn Japanese and they're throwing like several different writing languages at you at the same time while you're trying to learn it, and it's just like it just makes it incredibly difficult to pick it up.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who spent 4 years as teaching English in Japan because she spoke fluent Japanese. Um, and she is my go-to for getting translations done because I'll get models that have the instructions in Japanese. I mean, I've got a set of O'Neill cylinders that all the instructions are in Japanese. I think they're like 1/2500 scale O'Neill cylinders.
Yeah, one of my best. Sorry, go ahead.
No, they're bigger. The scale is smaller than that because they're only about 10 inches long. Um, the air conditioner just kicked on. Yes, the air conditioner actually just kicked on. He was asleep on my lap and alerted because the AC kicked on. But yeah, I'm sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying, like, one of my best friends back in high school lives in Tokyo now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he went to Japan for one of those study abroads and when he was in college, and basically found a way to get back to Japan, and now he's married to a Japanese girl and has a house in Tokyo, and
Oh,
or
that's nice.
at least near Tokyo. I doubt it's in Tokyo exactly, but close enough.
I'd assume he's fluent at this point.
I would hope so. But I mean, I would be a poor judge of what his fluency level is. But yeah, I know he did like the whole teaching thing of teaching English at one point. I'm not exactly sure what he does now, to be honest. Huh.
Yeah, had a buddy of mine in the Marine Corps. To Japan, I was a grunt, and we were on Mount Fuji for a while. It was really cool. But he fell in love with a girl in just a little short stint, right? Everybody thought she wanted to come to America or something, but he got out of the Marine Corps. He stayed with her. He got out of the Marine Corps and moved to Japan. She didn't want to come here. He wanted to go there.
That works.
I'm pretty sure the standard of living in Japan is a lot different than like, say
Exactly.
China or somewhere.
Very nice.
Well, I mean, one of the things my friend who's over there teaching right now is she's like, if I need to go to the doctor, I just go. and they actually are like interested in, you know, doing preventative care, stuff like that. And it's like, wow.
Unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of.
Well, we still got a ways before we get to the Star Trek era where everybody's just taken care of.
Where money is no longer the commodity that people are trying to gain.
Well, it's a economy of scarcity versus an economy of plenty, and it really breaks down to energy. We, uh,
Basically, all basic needs are tended to by machines, so humans are allowed to travel the path of the mind, essentially. And
Well, and when anything can be replicated out of energy, and energy is endless,
it's
commodities
not,
become worth so much less.
yeah. Hey, Grand Central Station is more radioactive than a nuclear power plant. Yeah, and because granite is naturally radioactive, and it doesn't count when it comes to exposure. Sorry, it's anyway. Yeah, you're right. It's if we were, where would we be if we had a universal basic income and you weren't working because you're terrified of, I don't know, starving or dying because you couldn't get health care.
Heck, at this point, I'd settle for not having my health care tied to my job. You
I
know how many
mean,
startups would be started without that?
uh, it create being able to where your workers are actually an asset and a value, and you have to compete for good workers instead of I need this because I'm gonna starve otherwise. Oh boy, I almost all day just trying to get an upgrade scheduled, and at 6 o'clock I got to 6 o'clock this evening, and I finally got it on the calendar. So hopefully we'll be able to. It was like, oh my god, we have a gap in our processes, and it's just
Congrats
frustrating.
on the hoop jumping there.
Oh yeah, I've been jumping through hoops all day, and it came down to, oh yeah, this is one of your undesignated duties, and it's like it's my undesignated duty because the field process doesn't match up with the corporate support process, and they both changed, and they left this gap. So that got escalated up as a broken process. I should probably get up and see if what this print is doing. I can't see it from where I'm sitting.
I got all the stuff to double share my X and Y.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm going to work on that tonight here in a couple minutes.
Very cool.
I went with the Railcore double shear setup, so you guys will be able to know if that works or not. And then I got the 55 millimeter long LDOs.
Oh, nice.
Is it the same torque and all that, or did you have to just go with a different stepper?
Identical stepper. It's just a longer like shaft. That's the only difference.
How do you get
Yeah.
that? Do they sell them on
Phillips Tudor sells it, and so does I bought mine through Printed Solid because Phillips Tudor was out. But yeah, they have them on their LDO page with all the motors. You'll see just it'll say like 55 millimeter version next to it.
All right, so you don't have to lower the stepper motor, then it'll be at the same height.
Exactly. I don't have to lower the board set. It's only going to drop down whatever the distance of the little vibration pad thing.
And does this work
the dampener?
with the Mandela Roseworks corner plate?
It's supposed to. It's supposed to work with our current stuff because it's just pretty much the same motor spacing. It's just 4 little, like kind of spacers and a metal plate that sits on the top with the bearing. We'll find out soon enough, though. If it doesn't, then I'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Because one of the
Well,
biggest, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of the biggest reasons I don't like the idea of doing the double shear mount is because I'm not moving my electronics. They are where they at.
Yeah, this should not require movement of the electronics at all. So that was my big reason for going this route. It just requires me replacing the stepper motors.
Yeah, I mean, I like. I'm hesitant to do a double shear without a stepper isolation,
Mm-hmm.
right? With a double shear, without using the coupler. So your pulley is your driving pulley is double shear on its own shaft that's connected through a flexible coupling, and
Mm-hmm.
then the stepper is on a damper mount. Because if you're damper mounting, even if you're double steering that shaft and are you using a vibration damper or are you just
Yeah.
clamping it?
It's going to be vibration dampener. So it'll be vibration dampener, our motor vibration dampener, the normal plate that we're using, the Jubilee plates. Then they'll have the rail core part that goes on top of that.
Okay, well, one of the things you need to do is you need that upper bearing needs to be a spherical bearing.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. I believe they come with them, if I remember correctly.
Double check, because if it's not a
Yeah.
spherical bearing, you're going to torque the shit out of your.
Yeah, I'll verify. I mean, Mandela Roseworks is selling this for the rail core guys, so I'm assume it's set up correctly. But
Yeah,
I'll double check. I appreciate it.
but I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Because if
Yeah.
you're able to move the motor and that upper bearing is locked in, you've got some.
You'll seize it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got your constraints are kind of weird. So yeah, that's the thing.
We'll see how it works. If not, I'll make some changes and modify it.
Yeah. Seriously, dude, what are you doing? He is now completely scrolled across my lap. I am trapped.
You clearly have not paid enough attention to him.
Oh yeah, I mean, he discovered he could be on my desk while I'm working yesterday, and it's an argument between he and Levi, the big orange cat, as to who gets the spot on my desk next to my keyboard.
Right.
Because if one gets down, the other one gets up, and then they look at each other like, "You left, it's mine now."
Smart.
Yeah. Well, I have a heating pad on I have an electric cat bed, so it's warm. So.
They're smart. They know that. Where
Oh,
that's
yeah.
All right, gentlemen. You guys have a great night.
at. I'm going to hop off as well. Have a good night, guys.
And that's
Take care.
my cue. I'm gonna go crash.
Have a good night.
Good night. Bye, everyone.